Here's a really simple earring project. Wire-wrapped bead. I actually published it in my first ever book, I think in about 2003. And it's such a simple idea. You can wire wrap beads in a very organic way. And I think for that one I use 0.8, so 20 gauge, but the one I'm going to do, it's much easier to do, in fact, with 0.6 mil. So here's an oval bead. It's great for plain beads, so anything plain. And if you've got a plastic bead, say, that doesn't look particularly nice on its own, if you wire wrap it, it'll suddenly look like it's something special. So I'm going to show you on these black beads I've got here. So I've got 0.6 mil, and I'm just straightening out the wire so I can thread them on. So thread your bead onto the wire. I haven't cut it off the spool yet. Create a link at the very end with your round nose pliers and centralize that link. So just bend it so that the bead sits central. Push the bead right up to it and then hold it and bend to a right angle, and that creates a little gap. And then create the link, wrap the wire around, and that should mean that there's a bit of a sort of a gap between the two links, which gives you enough space to connect around them. And now just wrap and wrap and wrap. You can do this as much as you want, and then connect around the top link, so the opposite side, and then wrap and wrap and wrap, and then come around and connect on the opposite side just under the link. And that's all it is. So very random, very organic, and each one will be slightly different. Now make sure that the two links are sitting on the same plane, so twist them round. And then the actual essential secret bit is the tweaking. So with the tips of your chain nose pliers, just go around, just twisting little sort of angular twists into the wires. And this will tighten the wire around the surface of the bead. It'll also add nice little decorative shapes to the wire, but basically it tightens and tightens and work hardens it around the bead. And then you're finished. So if you do that to the two beads, and then with a little drop, you don't have to put the drop. If you don't want the drop, obviously you can just flatten that link back onto the bead, but I'm going to make a little drop. So I'm going to make a head pin. So that is, create a hook, find your flat nose pliers and squeeze that hook together. So always takes a bit of time because it wants to move, especially when it's that small, but just sort of like double up the wires so that you've got a sort of little end, a head pin. And you want that as neat as possible, really. So now I'm going to cut it off the spool, leaving a stalk. And I'm going to make my second one because I want it to be exactly the same. So I'm going to again do the same thing, make the hook, squeeze the hook together. And if you find that this hook is too long, you can always trim it down. So there's so much time that it's not just one movement. You just keep working on it until you've got it exactly as you want it. So now I'm just going to measure. The stalks are the same length. So this is the little dangle bead at the end. Of course you can use ready-made head pin. You can buy them online. And now I'm just going to work harden these little stem stalks. So I'm holding it on one end, pulling and twisting with my flat nose pliers at the other, and this work hardens my soft silver plated copper wire and also makes it nice and strong so that becomes half hard wire. But if you have half hard wire, obviously you don't have to do this. So now I thread on my bead, and now I'm going to create a link at the other end. So I just want a small little link because I want it to hang off like a nice little dangle. Make it, there's something elegant about an earring that's sort of long, but obviously if you don't want it so long, you just shorten this up. You just create it as your style or your personality wants it. So, you know, this is just to give you ideas, inspiration. So do the same with the other, and then you'll link that on. So it's very much an instant gratification earring. You can also create more of a tassel if you're making a necklace. So this could be the centerpiece for a necklace as well. Now, as for ear wires, I'm going to show you one of the ear wires I like to make. I have got a whole tutorial on ear wires, so do please look that up under my jewelry techniques section that is on my YouTube. So I'm going to do just like a head pin, make a little hook, want it nice and neat, and then I'm going to spiral around that tiny little head pin. So initially it's quite hard to get it started, and once you get it started you're just spiraling and spiraling around. You don't want it too big, well, it's up to you I suppose. And I'm going to center that spiral onto the wire that I'm working on, and I'm going to leave a stem of about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, depends how long you wish your ear wires to be. And now I'm going to work hard on them again. So hold it and then pull and twist. So this creates an ear wire that is much more durable. It won't misshape so easily. So you can do this with sterling silver, and you can do it with silver plate. Now I'm going to hold that just under the spiral with the tips of my round nose pliers and bend that into a little hook. So I do that for both. And now I'm going to make the ear wires. So there's the little recess that's going to hold the earring. Now I'm going to bend it forward just above the top of the spiral so that I can come back and create the hook of the ear wire. So place my mandrel or shaping tool. It could be a pen or a pencil. It doesn't have to be a bail maker tool like I've got. And then there's your hook. So there's one of them anyway. And then I've just got to do exactly the same for the other earring. So bring it forward first. And this centralizes the ear hook if you go forward first. And then I just shape the back, the bit that feeds onto your ear. You just want to shape it and curve it. And the last thing that I'll do is just give it a little bit of a hammer, because I like to hammer that rounded end. Not too much, but it gives it a bit more solidity, you know, so it work hardens just that bit there, and it means that it's not going to misshape at all, because you're going to pull these on, you're going to pull them off, and you want it to last. So there we have our hooks. So the way we would use these is you'd get your, whatever you want to hang off them, you take them through from the end and then drop them onto that little centralized bit above the spiral, and then just make sure that you push the spiral to sit flat so it can't come off. Just spend a bit of time working on it so you can see that it's not going to slide off, and that's it. It can now dangle from that ear wire and it's ready to wear. So it's a pretty instant earring, as you can see, but also the ear wire is one you can use for so many different earring designs that you like to make. Obviously there are many other tops of earrings that you can create, and the other one is just create a spiral, flat spiral like this, and glue a ready-made post. I use E6000 glue it to the back, and that also, if you just wanted to have something that just dangles off that works very well too. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have fun making your own varied designs. Many thanks. See you again soon.